fighting not only against the Nigerian government, but against the world.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop.
Going to lower the flag of Nigeria and raise the flag of the United States of Biafra.
Tupu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu akpọta gị, ezi mmụọ niile nọ na Abia steeti, ezi mmụọ niile nọ n'Ụmụahịa, ezi mmụọ niile nọ n'Imo steeti, ezi mmụọ niile nọ n'Ekpe, ezi mmụọ niile nọ na Nkwere Ọlụ, ezi mmụọ niile nọ n'Imo gburugburu, akpọta m ụnụ. Ụnụ maara Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ka ya ka mma abịa, ngwa sogharịba na ebe ọbụla ọ nọ. Gabanụ njem n'ebe ọbụla ọ nọ, yiri dịka uwe, yikwasị ya mmeri, fevọ n'iru ya, fevọ n'azụ ya. Emegidere m agha, atụmatụ ọbụla bụ atụmatụ ọjọọ nke ndị zuu na-atụ n'isi nwatakịrị a. Echiche ọbụla bụ echiche ọjọọ nke ndị zuu na-eche n'ebe nwatakịrị a nọ. Emegide m ya na Eke, megide ya n'Orie, megide ya na Afọ, megide ya na Nkwọ. A sị na taa bụ Orie dotara ya ndụ. Ngọzi kachasị ngọzi niile n'ụwa bụ ahụike. Jehova nye arụ ike, mmeri n'iru ya, mmeri n'azụ ya, mmeri n'aka nri, mmeri n'aka ekpe. Ebe ọbụla ọ nọ, mmeri ka ọ ga-enwe. Ahịa ga-abụ mmeri. Ahịa ga-abụ mmeri. Ọ ga-emeri nwoke, ọ ga-emeri nwaanyị. O ji ọfọ na-ana n'ije. O jiri nwoke ọfọ jiere nwaanyị ọfọ, jiere agadi ọfọ, jiere obere ọfọ. Chinenye ndụ nye ndụ. Chukwu okike abịa ma agbọta gị n'ụra, ị maara nwa gị, mmụọ niile bụ ezi mmụọ nọ n'ala Biafra baanụ n'ime Maazị. Adọọ m ikike n'ime Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, wụba n'ime Saminekpa. Saminekpa, ihe ebubo abada, nkiri ka a na-ekiri abada deji onye ozu. Oke ngene ka ịbụ, agbarụcha aha gị bụ ngene, ha ga-ekuru gị nwa na Eke, kuru gị nwa n'Orie, kuru gị nwa na Afọ, kuru gị nwa na Nkwọ. Nna m si na onye ju ogbugbu ọnwụ udo, onye juru n'okwu ikwuru ọ naanị ike, onye kwere n'okwu ikwuru na ọbịbịa Biafra, ihe ọma na-eme n'ime Biafra ya mebere. Onye sị na ị ga-adị, onye ahụ aga-adịkwa. Onye sị na ihe ọma ama mmere gị, ihe ọma ama mmere gị. Chineke na-enye ndụ, ikike niile nọ n'ime Nnamdi Kanu, n'ebe ọ bụ na Nnamdi Kanu nọ n'ime prison, adọ m ikike nọ n'ime wụọ n'ime gị bụ Saminekpa. Ikike a sogharịba gị. Onye iro kpurugodo gị n'ọnụ, ikike a mechie ya anya, ya sogharịba gị. Ekwe ọnya n'iru gị, ị ga-abụ jump and pass, ekwe n'azụ, ị ga-abụ jump and pass, ekwe n'aka nri, ị ga-abụ jump and pass, ekwe n'aka ekpe, ị ga-abụ jump and pass. Nwa m, udo dere gị. Onye si udo dere mmadụ, ya ka udo na-abịara. Mmeri ka ị ga-emeri. N'iru ka ị ga-aga, ọdịda ga-abụ nke gị. Emegidere m agha zuu, agha ndị IPOB, agha ndị DOS. Ije ọbụla bụ ije ọjọọ ndị ebube agụ na-eje n'isi gị. Ije ọbụla bụ ije ọjọọ asarị sọkụgbọkụ na asị na-asarị dọkụgbọ ga-eje n'isi gị. Emeria m ya na Eke, meria ya n'Orie, meria ya na Afọ, meria ya na Nkwọ. Jehova bube ha agha. Ya were abụ ọma 35 tiri ha ọgba aghara. Chere ha ọgba aghara, tiri ha ọgba aghara, chaa ha ọgba aghara, chabanụ ha ọgba aghara, chabanụ ha ọgba aghara, chabanụ ha ọgba aghara, chaba ha ọgba aghara, ọgba aghara. Chibuchebe gị nwa m, Chinenye ndụ ya gị ndụ, n'iru ka ị ga-aga Saminekpa, ọdịda a ga-abụ nke gị n'aha Chukwu okike abịa. Adomi.
This one pass you, Nabi. You know, is it I don't know what is what is going on? Is it a network or the prayer enter the computer? All right, let us wait now. We're not in a hurry.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you for joining us. We are
a perilous road of resistance.
I welcome you. I thank you for being part of this program. Please like and share the program. We are about to kick off this program to reach out to people of the world and continue to give update on what is happening. I urge you to join us on this program to get an update. Remember, today we have our ID card presentation and applications. You have any problem with your ID card, prepare yourself, because the opportunity is going to be given for everybody to speak. So wherever you are, try and join us on this platform so that you can get your own details, get your informations right. Join us from anywhere you are and make sure you get these informations. As always, I'm here to update you about the programs that we have had in the morning. Join on the platform so that you can get the update of the morning program. Thank you, and let's watch. People have the freedom to associate with wherever they want to associate with. Even after we are independent, we will still have to deal with the zoo. They are our neighbors. After independence, if there is still something that is called Nigeria, we can still have a diplomatic talk with them. But these are a bunch of clowns that comes out to create distraction instead of focusing on the real matter at hand. This is why when I see their videos, I don't pay attention. I don't even listen. I don't open it. The only time I hear their program is when I watch, maybe it was posted by one of my comrades. Maybe when a comrade posts their video, then I will know that that video deserves attention. Then I will pay attention. Or maybe the deputy prime minister posted it, then I will pay attention. But for me to go to their platform and begin to listen or see their video, I don't open. Once I see a video from that negative, I don't put hand in any negative thing. I stay away completely from that negative force. I don't allow it to get to me. I don't watch their program. I don't go to their program. I don't make any research about them. I don't pay attention. The only time I see their video is when, and only when, I see it posted by my fellow comrade, those that I know that are on the right path. Maybe it has a very important thing to do. Then I will pay attention. Because I'm somebody who doesn't want to get distracted. I don't want to get distracted by anybody. That is why I take time to make my decisions. And nobody can influence my decision. It doesn't matter who you are. Whatever decision I take responsibility for my decisions. Whatever happens at last, I take responsibility. As I'm supporting the United States of Biafra government today, I will continue to support it because it is the right thing to do. Morally, it is right. Spiritually, it is right. Lawfully, it is right. Structurally, it is right. I have looked on these directions. That is the right place to be, and that is why I'm here. Structurally, when you look at the structure of Biafra, the structure shows that it is the United States of Biafra under Dr. Ngozi Orebozere that is legal. Officially and lawfully, follow it, remove your sentiment and everything. You will know that that is the legal place to be. Morally, if you still have some morality in you, morally, the right place to be is where we are today. With these three evidence alone, I am convinced that I'm in the right path. That is why I don't struggle. I don't bother myself to go and look for what Mr. A said about me or what Mr. B said or suggestion of Mr. B before I reach my conclusion. I don't. It's Biafran time to resist with all our might and prefer death to slavery and disgrace. We have faced slavery for a long time. We have faced disgrace for a long time. And we can no longer continue to allow that. Many of you have seen that very picture I'm talking about. The picture that somebody went and pulled out and began to say some trash. And that is the funny thing. Most of them, because they are not standing on the genuine path, they have lost content. They lost content. There are so many things to talk about. When it comes to restoration of Biafra, there are so many responsibilities on our shoulder, things we have to discuss. Why will anybody begin to focus on things that are irrelevant? There are many things to discuss. The world is there waiting for us. The world is there waiting for us to be recognized. Biafrans are there seeking for recognitions. There are so many things to talk about. Why would you keep yourself busy with blackmail, gossip, and propaganda, pushing lies right, left, and center? And when that useless video came out, our deputy prime minister decided to respond. I'm going to play her response for us to listen and hear what she has to say.
So, greetings, fellow Biafrans. Again, ordinarily, I wouldn't really have the time to be tracking these mediocres we have in this struggle. But at the same time, just like our Prime Minister always said, when people propagate lies and they keep saying those lies over and over again, it looks as if it's a fact. That is just the reason why I also want to make out this time to let you all know the fact. I saw this video where one of these individuals that are propagating that they are fighting for Biafra or for Greek or for a nation, showing a picture, a video, a picture, I think, of my professional members. First of all, I want to let Biafrans know that these individuals are professionals with the highest level of standard they maintain as professional nurses. This individual that lied again to you, Biafrans, that this is a current picture taken in 2015. I took time to go pull that picture. That picture was done over 6 years ago, in 2019, when we went out for a volunteer service to some groups of people. So, Biafrans, the question I want to ask you, is this how you have been propagating for or looking for Biafra? Where you have criminals, people, mediocres, people, liars, that are making noise all over the place, are the ones you bring to near the government at all to do anything. A picture that was taken in 2019, and I'll post it after this, almost 6 years. Somebody went and pulled that picture, telling the people that follow him that this picture was done in 2025. That is a current picture. How did we get here? Again, I just want Biafrans to know Those of you following these individuals, you don't mean well for this struggle. And it's not about me. It's not about Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. It's not about our leader Nnamdi Kanu. But it is also about people that we want to lead us, people that we want to bring close to the government, having the integrity, having the respect, having the skills needed to lead our new nation, United States of Biafra. And again, I will leave you all to be the judge. I don't want to spend time on this, but such lies and people that do tell you those kind of lies, you should not follow them. You should not listen to them. You should not even allow them to come near the seat of this United States of government or any leadership organization where you belong to. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Dr. Ngozi Oroboeze. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, my fellow Biafrans. You have heard her. That was the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Oroboeze, responding to that idiotic video. You know, for me, I don't play their videos on my platform, neither do I show their pictures. But most of us who are watching here must have seen the video we are talking about. Very shameful. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, it is Biafran time to resist with all our minds and prefer death to slavery and disgrace. You're welcome, my beloved brother Christian. Thank you for joining. My brother Greg, thank you so much for joining the stage. Let's hear from you, my brother Christian. Go ahead and talk to us. Let's hear you.
Morning, brother Chooks. And morning, Greg, Biafrans.
No.
You know, so yeah, we just have to keep doing what we are doing, and there will be distraction, no doubt, but you won't let it deter us. We just have to.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, so we just have to keep marching on. About the old picture that you just talked about, I don't know, I didn't see it, and but yeah, that is just those are distractions, you know. But to be honest with you, the way I look at it is that there are those who sees this situation, the struggle, as a means to support their own. To support their earning one way or the other, you know. So they might think that maybe they are propagating freedom or whatever, but they see it's like, for some of them, it's like position being taken away, and they sworn they will do everything to make sure. It's not new. Many have done that in the past, you know. So they can't get themselves to reconcile with the fact that Biafrans are no longer flocking to them, and when they come for fundraising, people donate their hard-earned money, and from there they were able to sustain their lifestyle. So this is what it's all about. But that is very wrong. That is very unfortunate, because that is not what it's supposed to be about. The primary objective ought to be the restoration of our freedom. Our freedom is supposed to be the primary objective from whosoever it comes. And keep in mind that it's not everybody is not cannot be a leader. Everybody cannot lead. These things, if you watch events, you will see there are those who are like naturally prepared, right, to take over. It happens in a very sequential form. You look at how Nnamdi Kanu, the event unfolded, or even before him was Rike, down to Nnamdi Kanu, down to Simon Ekpa, and now down to Ngozi Oroboeze. So you can see the sequentiality of how things are moving. But again, those who have seen it as a meal ticket and notoriety, so they don't want to. But that is the unfortunate part. But we can, again, we also we won't be deterred. We still have to keep pushing, you know. But my main thing this morning is that I don't know, because I don't know if you know about a guy called the Tate brothers. Massachusetts, have you heard about these guys? Tate brothers, Andrew Tate.
No.
Okay. Well, they are strong YouTube individuals, you know, very famous, him particularly, Andrew, and his junior brother, they are very, very famous. They are American and British. Their father is American, their mother is British. So, but what happened is that they are huge YouTube. They have huge YouTube followings, and but part of the things they talk about doesn't seem to sit well with the globalist, because they describe him particularly. Let me just focus more on him because he's the most famous one, Andrew Tate, you know. So he focused more on the globalist agenda and the unseen hand, the matrix. That's how he describes them. And because he was gaining more and more the youth who were following and listening to him, then accusation was made against him. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. So then he lived in Romania. So with the British government and their influence, their power, and you know what I mean, their global reach, and with the Democrats also, because there's a way the whole thing is framed. Yeah, the globalists, the Democrats in America, the Obamas and the rest of them, and the British government, more or less, they are just working it. That's why if you look, you see also how much they are against Trump, because Trump is opposite of what they believe in, opposite of how they see the world. So this guy was accused of being a rapist or sex trafficker, whatever, all sorts of things. So over a year now, him and the brother were locked up in Romania. Okay. So, but because somewhere along the line, they had contact with Elon Musk, right? You know Elon Musk, yeah?
Yeah.
So, with Trump now at the helm of power in America, and I believe that he has had stuff about these brothers who are Americans but hold up in Romania. So, from what we learned is that he gave, of course, if Trump speaks to none of this, if Trump made just a mere word, not even action, just a word of mouth, will shake up everywhere for the most part. So they've just released them. They are back in America. I think this was yesterday. So that is but my point is this, that like Nnamdi Kanu, for example, who has been held up for like going to maybe more than 4 years now, and the Igbo veteran, I think that is the name tag, the Igbo veterans in America, and they've just written a letter to Tinubu for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But the thing is that this is not the first letter they've written, and I'm sure it's not the second, it's not even the third. They've been talking about this thing. So it's like, if you keep begging, what really? I mean, if you are an Igbo veteran, Igbo American, a soldier, a veteran, so what other measure or impact, what other step that has to be taken? Because it's not enough to just keep writing letters, begging and begging. Even before Tinubu came, they were on the same, move or the same pattern, keep begging and keep saying, and there's nothing to back it up. So I begin to wonder, because if it is a group of people who are Igbo of American veteran soldiers, they should be able to coordinate to have, at least there ought to be some link to the seat of power, one way or the other, and say, this is our concern. Can you address it? Because by a mere word of somebody who is related to the corridor of power, that will make a huge difference. Then even to our PM2, who has been held up now since late last year, for no offense, absolutely no offense. Of course, same goes for Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa has not committed absolutely not even one accusation has been brought up against him. You just lock him up. So my point is that we must try to work towards practical terms, not just writing letters and begging and this and that. Because, like I said, there is absolutely no reason why Simon Ekpa should just be just like that. No communication, absolutely nothing. And for me, I'm not going to say that because you are black and because I don't know, what goes on the ground, why there's no any link to to the corridor of power one way or the other, that somebody can speak and say, why is this man who was kidnapped, first of all, against every known law, he was kidnapped and brought back to Nigeria more than 4 years now, he's still being locked up, and the court has freed him, has set him free. Why is he still held up? Okay, that is in Nigeria. Now, for our PM2, he's just being held up. And so when I look at this, the case of these state brothers, maybe somewhere along the line you will get to hear about it. And just a word that was spoken from the administration, from the American administration, but there are people who are very much against it, the Democrat, the globalists, the British, they are against it because they say that they are sex offenders. But a word from the administration to the Romanian government, they released them. Both of them, they just landed in America yesterday. They're in Florida, from what I heard. So this is, I don't know. I will urge that these veterans in America, there has to be something that will lead to concrete action, because I don't have the connection, so I can't really, I won't be able to walk into the corridor of power because I'm not positioned to do that. So, but I think it will help a great deal if they leave our guys who are being held up for no crime, for absolutely no offense. Simon Ekpa is a case study of it in the Western world, to be held up just like that, incommunicado. It is really sad. And if somebody is asking that question, it's well within his or her right to be asking that question, why is it being held incommunicado? Just because the British want it. Just because the Nigerian government wants it to happen. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I cited the example of what happened in Romania. People are up, they can't even believe that Romanian government will allow these guys. That is the power that Trump will yield. The power he wields when he speaks, people listen. So, I don't know. I don't know. I just want to make that contribution that we need to advance certain areas, areas of practicality where we have connection to the corridor of power. It may not necessarily be to the head of it, but at least somewhere linked to it, so that it's unfortunate because before the first coming of Trump, well, I saw that Nnamdi Kanu, I don't know if that he was invited to the inauguration or something like that, but probably did not go eventually. I don't know. So, but these are things we ought to be doing as a matter of fact, because it's not enough to just keep saying the same thing year in, year out, and we are still facing the same situation. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you for your contributions. The Biafran government is doing everything humanly possible to bring the plight of our Supreme Leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and our Prime Minister Mazen Simon Ekpa before the whole world, more especially in the US. The Deputy Prime Minister is doing she's putting a lot of work on that to make sure that very issue is on the front line. That is why sometimes when I see these idiots causing distraction, I'll be wondering where they kept their mind. Instead of talking about things that matters, they'll be talking about irrelevant issues.
Do you know anything about this?
She's doing very great work, and she's going ahead on so many occasions and putting things in order. And again, with our headquarters, with our embassy to be opened very soon in Washington D.C., that will also help to go a lot of things. A lot of things are really going on, but all we need to do is to watch and see what is going to happen in a few days' time.
Do you know anything? Yeah, you know anything about this veteran, the Igbo American soldiers veteran, as they are described?
They have been there. They have been there. It's not the first time they have written. Not the first, not the second, not the third. They've been there.
Exactly.
They attended one of our meetings, even when Mazi Samanago was around. They attended our meetings and all that. So they've been there. All this information are out there.
Because
to continue to push it and continue to speak about it, and by the grace of God, and watch. I believe that this time there is a change of hand and there is a global change everywhere. We just position ourselves and hope it affects us.
Because like I've been saying for some time now also that there's this window of opportunity we must take advantage of it because it's not going to be there forever. That is the nature of politics. Okay. So, but because also if you look at the so-called maybe Ohanese or Igbo politicians, the governors or whatever, these guys don't mean well. That is, it's obvious now. It's as clear as day and night because the book of Babangida, when he revealed what some of us know in the past, now their response, the Igbo elite or politicians, their response to that was reparation. That is what they asked for. They asked for reparation in the form of, there is monetary reparation to be paid 10 trillion, whatever. But the Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS dungeon for years now. That ought to be the priority. They are asking for money that they will share and eat among themselves. That is what it's all about. They are asking the priority, as far as Biafra is concerned, is the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who has been justified to be a free man, who has been set free. So I expected them to say, okay, this is what has happened. The war was thrust upon the Igbos and they were framed and they call it Igboku, they call it this massacre, genocide was committed against the people. Now, leave Nnamdi Kanu because he stands 100% shoulder to shoulder with Odim Ojukwu and the freedom. So leave the man. No, you are not asking, let him stay there, but you're asking for money. Just money. So that tells you that they don't mean well. They absolutely don't mean well. So the Igbo veterans, I would suggest that if they also mean business, like they said, asking, writing letter for him to be released, they should be able to use their positional acquisition as people who have served the country to come together and go approach a position of power and say, this is our concern. We have served the nation, and this is what we are, So that is how it ought to be. But anyway, it's a suggestion. I'm just raising it up as against who you never know who sees or hears. So it just it's not an imposition. It's just a suggestion. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. Let's hear from Greg. Bro, Greg, you're there. Let's hear from you, Greg.
Yes. Good morning, Choose and the Christ. Good morning to Biafrans and all the meaningful people around the world. We thank God for the end of February today, the last day for the month. We thank Him for the grace of life, for all the Biafrans, for the opportunity to see the end of this month as the year on. Every minute the hour is moving. The clock clicked. So we thank God that we are about to push and march into March. That by His grace, in this March, we shall march more than forward. In this March of 2025, we shall march into success. We shall march into favor. We shall march into freedom. In this March, doors will be open for us. That is our prayers.
You see,
as we end the month of February, we expect the month of March to march into any hardware. That no going back, but we'll march forward as the march pronounces itself. So we thank God for the opportunity. This morning, I can see your program to give everything to make sure that Biafra come. Sacrifice anything sacrificeable. And that is what we are going to be doing. We must sacrifice whatever we can, spiritually, materially, morally, financially, and otherwise, to support the call for freedom. Freedom for the Biafrans and freedom to Ambassador and any people that wishes to be free in life. Freedom in any aspect of life. That is what we are fighting for, and that is what we are praying for. You know, when we start listening, as I was just listening to you, Mr. Choose, you talked about the Yorubas ignoring the the army overthrow that bring the problem of Nigerian Biafran war. At least that is the one they will hold hand. That is a tangible reason Nigerian government have to kill the Igbos. Because the ones that have been happening since before the independence, they didn't have anything to hold their hand as a reason for killing the Igbos. Because if they present that one, the world will know what had happened. So that is why you see none of the Yoruba people will touch that area. None of Nigerian man will touch that area, except some of the Igbos that are being consigned. They are the one that will talk about the what do you call it? The overthrow of the 1966 that brought Nigerian Biafran war. So you cannot expect Yorubas to talk much about it. Not that there's some of them that talked about it anyway, but we have to be sincere. So the issue there is Nigeria didn't have reason for killing the Igbos in 1950s and 1940s. So the only reason in 1966 was about the coup. And they have no other thing or other way to hold a reason or to push a reason to the world, to tell the world this is why we committed genocide. On the coup that did not happen as the Igbo coup, but happens as Nigeria revolution, according to them. On my own part of it, if I had been born at that time, I wouldn't have supported any coup, especially when it comes that the Yoruba person will instigate that coup and they will hide behind and we will be acting. So because when I come and think about that coup that was supposed to be giving power to Awolowo, and the same Awolowo collide with Nigeria and kill the Biafrans, murder them, and make sure that no Biafrans exist. In a way, you look into the Nigerian Biafran war, many things played a part. Because when I watched one program yesterday, the guy they interviewed I think that's supposed to be one British man. When the British man was saying that that what Lagos was presenting to the world was not what was on the ground during that Nigerian Biafran war, that he witnessed more than 300 corpses, dead bodies on the ground. And those people were not military. He was saying that the Nigerian military and Nigerian Air Forces headed by Nigerian Air Force that was flight by Egyptian, what do you call it?
Pilot.
The Egyptian pilots, that they were bombing schools, they were bombing markets, that they were bombing hospitals and churches. So the British man saw, this is not just a story, but he witnessed it himself. More than 300 dead bodies. And that was genocide. So, and what Gowon was telling the world on Lagos was completely different thing. So, many people don't understand what happened. It's just like Gowon is being used, even though he hate the Igbos in the first place, and with his power arrogance. So, Gowon was in Lagos getting wrong reports. The Fulanis were using Gowon And they are to push the Muslim and hate agenda to the Igbos to make sure they wipe away the Christians and the Biafrans, to make sure none of them exist. And they were giving wrong reports to the Lagos, because as a president now, he is sitting in the office in Lagos, and the man is not educated enough. He's just like me. So he's not educated enough to ascertain a lot of things that will happen that time. And he was not enough. He was not educated enough. He's not to all that exposed. So for him, a person like him to be in power. So what was his own aim at that point in time was for him to remain as the head of state. So for him, it is an opportunity. A person who did not even dream in his life to be in that kind of position is not all that educated, and it happened to be in that position. So whatever the Fulanis tell him and whatever they want to use him to do, he will succumb to that. So it just completely. Let me use Jonathan as an example. Jonathan never in his life dreamed to be a president. So whatever Fulanis we are pushing him to do, he was doing it. That is most of the thing. That was most of the of what happened to this man Gowon. So when they were killing all this genocide, the Gowon was more fighting for one Nigeria, but the Fulanis was after the telling the Islam and the killing, make sure that no Christians exist. They have their own agenda. So this Nigerian Biafran war, there was a lot of interest. British have their interest in making sure that the world, economic interest and their business in Nigeria will not collapse. The Fulanis were interested in make sure that they sell the Islam and non-Christian and the Biafran will exist. They want to make sure they wipe away Christians and the Muslims and wipe away Christians and the Biafrans to make sure that no Biafra will stand the Fulanis when they push their Islamic agenda. So this was what was going on in that Nigerian Biafran war. And Gowon's interest was much more being in power and bringing Nigeria as one. So, and he didn't know he was being used at that particular time as a Christian he claimed to be, which I don't know if he's really Christian. So that is what was what happened in that particular war. So what I'm trying to say is you cannot expect Yorubas to be talking much about it. They will only be talking about Abiola. And when you come in the case of Abiola, you will understand that Abiola is among the people that destroy Nigeria.
Definitely.
He was corrupt to the core. It's just like as Atez is corrupt to core, because I'm not trying to say it as maybe if any Yoruba person is listening, he will say maybe I'm an Igbo man, I'm talking about Yoruba being corrupt. I'm talking about the individual. Abiola was too much corrupt. Just like Ateza, who is too much corrupt, telling you before Bangida that the Bangida made him. I think I sent that video yesterday to you. That Bangida made him, and Bangida made the richest African man, who is Dangote. So, but all those things are not story to us, because we knew that as many as them that gathered in that book, launching, they are all vultures, just like this Fatamia, what I don't know the name of that man called them.
But Babangida was also among those that made the MKO himself. Babangida was among people that made him.
Of course, that's what I'm telling you. He was corrupt to the core. So when you see all those vultures that gathered in this launching of the book, they were all the people that have destroyed the opportunity of the common citizens. They are the people that make us to be where we are today. They are the people that push millions of us out. So they will use somebody like Ateze. Ateze will be interested in grabbing money. And the Fulanis will be using him to be killing his people and gaining their ground to say the Islam. So that is the game that most of them don't even know. They use Abiola to the West as a Muslim. But they did not see Abiola as a Muslim. So they were pushing him with money and entering the Yorubas as they're using Ates and many of them, make all 4 of them, all Jews are calling them, to enter the Igbos. So the same thing they used and the same thing they did to Abiola and some of the Yorubas in that Yoruba land. So they will use these people and they will killing their people, getting their ground, grabbing their land and selling Islam to the community, whether they like it or not. You cannot tell me that there was something like a Abuja Declaration that says it's only Muslim that is authorized, that is allowed to rule Nigeria, that is allowed to be in any important position in Nigeria. And they gathered together during the time of Babangida, and those bills, they secretly agree on that particular issue. Then when it comes to that Abiola, as a Muslim, we take power from them. They resist. That is one thing with these people. Okay, look at Obasanjo. When Obasanjo finished his tenure, he carried his mantle back to the north. But no Southern will do it. What did they do? When after Babangida finished, he handed over to Abacha. When Abacha finished, they made sure that they go to Abu Salam. If it were not when America and the wrong world come and they start crying, then the Babangida say, okay, who else? Because Obasanjo is our boy. Obasanjo is our what they call it, stooge or whatever. Anything we tell him, he will accept. Give it to him. He will bring the power back to us. You see? And that's what they did. They carried it to Obasanjo. Obasanjo take the power because Obasanjo didn't support Abiola. He said that Abiola is not the savior. That Obasanjo is the savior. And they take it because the Fulanis are more clever than any of the Southerners. And if they see any clever one among you, they will never allow that one to come closer. So that is what you people don't know. And what of most of the Southern and the Biafrans and the so-called they do the ones the Yorubas don't know. Look at that video yesterday I sent to you. There was donating 500 million, telling the whole world that Babangida made him today, that he was flying all over the whole military, a civilian man, that he was flying, going everywhere as an errand boy to Babangida during the time of his military regime. And he tell you that the same Babangida made the Dangote. We know that. Everybody know that Babangida made Dangote and many of them. So, what do you expect? You cannot get anything more than what you saw them as many of them, those vultures that gathered him. Look at Tinubu, who they was criminally saying that he was fighting against the June 12th. And in his presence, Tinubu Babangida tell him, this is what you fought, and you say you not believe in one Nigeria. That Nigeria, they should divide Nigeria when you were fighting June 12th, because power did not get to you. Now power get to you, you say you would, instead of Nigeria would divide, you would die. And my prayer that Tinubu would die, because he said he will not be alive to see Nigeria divide. That is the truth. That is the cost he laid on himself. And he will not be alive to see Nigeria will divide. So when you look at what is happening in Nigeria, he will understand that what we are fighting is too much, is too big. If somebody like Ateze can call somebody like Ogenkere and tell him, go inside there, I will give you whatever it takes. I will give it to you. Pretend to be among, as you are fighting for freedom. And they will come in. They will get any information in the world. The money is there. Bangladesh will, they are money to release any kind of money. Tinubu is ready to release any kind of money. Because what people don't understand is this fight that we are fighting, if we are not fighting against even the Muslims, we are not even fighting the common Fulani man, we are not fighting against any Yoruba person. What we are fighting is the freedom that even that will liberate a common Fulani man, even if they divide Nigeria. If they divide Nigeria, Babangida will not stand in the north. If they divide Nigeria, Tinubu will not stand in the Yoruba land. It is not possible. They will chase all of them away because they know that people, their eyes of their people will open. If they divide Nigeria, they cannot stand in Biafra land and do rubbish. They will chase him away. So the people we are fighting are this number of the people that gathered in the launching of this book, if you don't know. And they are the people who are sitting on top of the masses. And there is no other way you can win them except if you divide Nigeria. Once you divide Nigeria, the elite will run away. The elite will be destroyed because the law will start to work. That is my purpose of joining to fight for Biafra. I joined to fight for Biafra today because I know if Biafra come, somebody like somebody like Soludo, somebody like all these criminals, we cannot stay in the Biafra land. They will chase them away. The law will chase them away because they will not be able to stand upon any power because we will chase them by our power. The common man will chase them out. But they cannot chase them now because if you want to chase them, they will go and bring a Fulani military to come and start killing your people. If they want to chase them in Lagos, they will go and bring a Fulani. If Fulani want to chase them, they will come to the south and carry army to go and fight. It's just like what happened to the NSAS and protests about bad governance. So that is what we are fighting. So what we are fighting is many people have to understand it. So that is the on that side. So when you come on concerning our DPM, all the propaganda, I saw that picture. I just ignore it. I wrote to them that they cannot fool us. So many people, many Nigerians, somebody can still be supporting Nigeria and he can change to tomorrow and be even the worst person to fight against the government of Nigeria. So those things they are parading shows you that these people are not freedom fighters. I will continue saying it. Because they did not stop Biafra declaration, they're still in this pretending that they're fighting for Biafra, just like the DOS were doing after the betrayal of Mazen Nandekano. Because if they go back, if they did not continue, everybody will know what they stand for. So they are still pushing, trying to make sure that they scatter everything that Nandekano is doing, so that they would gain power and they hand over the struggle into the evil people they want to hand it over to make sure that they didn't work. But because we resisted, and this lady I'm seeing on this screen, resisted them and stand Gidibam and declare Biafra. So they have no option than to looking for every propaganda. They will still, most of them that their parents died, they will still go and dig the dead body of their parents and come bring them up and tell you that it was the Tongan that killed their parents or their mother or their father. So something like those pictures never shake you. If I were the Tongan, I will never even come and talk about it because every reasonable Biafra will know that that is lie. So many of us here, many of us have been one Nigeria. Simon Ekpa was one Nigeria 2019. He was in this Irigi where they beat where they fought this man in Germany here in Stuttgart in Nuremberg. He was there. I was there myself as well. You see. So my Simon Nandekan was one Nigeria fighting to know if there is anywhere Nigeria would be good. So many people will still change today and come back to fight for Biafra. So those pictures doesn't make sense to me. It can only make sense to any corrupt, evil person. So these people you see that bringing, and this guy have been saying it. Akparawa, I don't trust Akparawa as a freedom fighter. If Akparawa is a real freedom fighter, I have never seen a Minister of Information. He was not holding any program in his native language to promote and bring people into the struggle as a Minister for Information. If Parawa is real, he will be holding his native listening at least 2-3 times, at least 2 times in a week, to be making programs and that people will join him. He will be speaking his language at least 2-3 hours in every week to lure his people, the Calabas, into the struggle. But he's not doing it. That man is not real. So any person that following Akbarawa is a deceiver. So people should understand that. Akbarawa is not a freedom fighter. If I challenge him, let him run every week 2 times his native language and start talking and preaching Biafra to his people. If he's real. So he's not real. I don't remember that he's using Igbo to preach Biafra. They are saying it that he's speaking Igbo, he's trying to Igbolize. She's not trying to Igbolize any Biafra. She said, let's go home and bring your preach to your people in your native language. So if you preach your people to your native language, they will understand more and will bring them more. It will waken them up. But Akbarawa is not doing that. As a minister for information, he's a deceiver. So people should know that. Any person that following them are deceiving himself. So that is what I have on that they are very rubbish. So at least let me give that to other people for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother Greg. I appreciate you for that contribution. You've spoken well. Let us give the mic to our beloved sister, Ojugo. Let's hear from you, Ojugo, if you're there. I know your time is very, very late out there, and you've waited for long. Ojugo, unmute yourself and talk to us. Let's hear you.
Okay, good morning, Mr. David.
Good morning, my dear sister. Welcome.
Am I loud enough?
We can hear you.
Okay. I'm not saying anything different from what my brothers have already said. And our brother that said prayer that, we are marching, entering March, and we're marching into favor. I say, amen. He said to that prayer. Month of February did not give us 29, which was the particular day that Biafra was declared. So that day, 29, for every February is a special date, because in February, once in 4 years, that we will celebrate 29. So it's a special date, special date. And for this month, it's open. 29 is open, and it's open for favor. It's open for good news. Doors are open. So our prayer is on the head of our leaders, those leading us to this freedom, and us that are following them, to follow them in sincerity of heart and focus. Nafachukwu okike abịama. Ise. Okay, I thank you especially, Mr. David. I know I don't get up. Your time difference affects me a lot. I think it's about after 2:04 now. So I hardly catch the beginning of your program. But whenever I meet your program, you are on the tax. You are on the tax. You are not distracted by anybody. And I say, keep that up. That's what we're supposed to be hearing, bringing up all this that we have suffered in the hand of these demons. And we suffered during the war. A lot died. And when this revolution happened, I was thinking that that will bring all these people that call themselves elite to say, okay, Biafra received or was unjustly treated. Can you let us go now? Because before Nigeria, Biafra was already there. So why don't you ask that we go? If you are not benefiting from the corrupt country, why don't they ask Nigeria to be persecuted for committing genocide? Because I don't think Nigeria has suffered that.
No.
Why are you asking for 10 trillion? So you are proving to the North, to the world, that is about money, money, money.
Very shameful.
We're no more in that level right now. That's why all these people see Igbo people like it's about money. Now, the generation now has come to understand it's not about money. We keep remembering our adage that says, "Is there fa kego?" It's our adage. Is there fa kego? You know, so that's where we should be talking about. What is the compensation of all this? Can we have Biafra? Can you let Nnamdi Kanu go? Can you let our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa go? That we have been treated injustice, compensate us through this. And you're talking about money. We don't need their freaking money. Let them go to hell and leave us alone. Nnamdi Kanu said it. Britain, take the whole oil. Let us go. Let us go. He screamed that. Take the damn oil. Let us go. That's all we ask for. And if we are talking about the genocide committed during the war, have we forgotten what happened between our eyes during Buhari time? Operation Python Dance, where they threw all our youth inside dirty water. Shut them. All this should be coming up to remind our people because it seems like we forget so easily. If you have the videos of that, I don't know if YouTube will allow that, but those things has to come up. Even in the airs of bring those videos up. Those are just recent. Because we've forgotten that Buhari so quick. Buhari did was he came with the vengeance on Igbo people. Do you know what is vengeance? He came with vengeance. If he has given an opportunity, he will wipe all Igbos.
He tried to do it.
He will wipe
he called us a dot.
all Igbos. So, my brother, please, if you have those videos, the recent ones, those are recent. Because that time I know I saw, oh my God, what that man did to our youth.
Yeah, I have all the videos, but I'm not playing it because of the YouTube
that's why the YouTube, if somebody that have S can put those to refresh people's mind. Refresh people's mind of the recent crime committed by Buhari. I hate that man with passion. He's the worst ever that the current that wanted to wipe our people out. He will rotten. He will be alive and rotten if he's still alive anyway. If he's still alive. So that's one of the things that really touched me, because I keep all the time, remembering that Operation Python does. It hurts so bad, and that's what Cameroon. Sometimes I will come across Cameroon and these people, what do they call?
Amazonia.
Amazonia. You see their military, Cameroon military, throwing men and women inside dirty water and told them to roll themselves. Human beings. And if you're still trying to, when somebody asks you to do like that, you don't just jump and start doing it. If you're still trying to, kind of adjust yourself, they will use their leg, and kick your head. You'll be alive and see your death. Human beings. It's just horrible that we're doing this to ourselves. An African treating an African like that. That's horrible. An Igbo person treating an Igbo person, somebody that speaks the same language with you. Let this media too, my suggestion. If you have any language, if you know any language, please join the media. Speak in your language. It's very, very important. Yes. That's why, like our brother said, I never trusted that man, Akbarawa Sonny, because his other brother of Akbarawa, he never disputed, he never used his media to challenge that his brother Sonny that it's with a basket mouth. Never. They sit at home, we are doing him as a minister of information that is in such a position. His people supposed to be leading also in that area, but nothing happens there. Sometimes I question myself, why is it that this people, that area are not participating? Why their own person is a minister of information? What is he bringing in? What is it that he's adding to this that he's doing with this position? Absolutely nothing. And there he is putting it at home to Igbo people. So we are focused. We are not deviating. We are focused. And nothing will deviate us. Nothing. So let's keep the ball rolling. Those who are by the side, we leave them by the side. We are in a war. The military said it by themselves. We are in a war. So during the war, you don't look who fall by the side. You just keep moving. You keep moving. You save those you can save, and those you cannot save, you keep moving, because we're in the war. Now, do you see the idea of the military? They are by the side, backing this guy from the Greek men, backing them, because they don't want their men to be killed anymore. Now, they're using Biafra from the Greek, those from Rivers and Bayelsa that this man is forming for them. Because the military are Fulanis, they don't want them to be killed again. Now they're using all these guys to fight the Biafra people. You see their idea. They are by the side guiding, but they don't want to come out again in full force. Rather, they just use all these idiots that don't know that how they brainwash them is what even I don't understand. They don't reason. Why are we coming out to this forefront to fight our people? If Biafra goes home tomorrow, they are going with them. What would be their set? Thank you, my brother. I will go back to YouTube or to the listening side so that I give space to other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my sister. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. You're on point and you've spoken well. My fellow Biafrans that have joined on today's program, it is very important. It is very important the stage we are now. Just like when you look at the message that I just brought up there, that message is a very important message and it speaks volume. I love what that person said. Anya Carlo Carlo. Anya Carlo Carlo wrote, he said, we are dealing with a situation involving IBB book launch, which we should leverage to amplify our message on a global scale. This is the scenario through which the Nigerian government accused Biafra of a coup. That very message is very, very open and straight. And that is why I am wondering, the people who claim to be fighting for Biafra, the people who claim they care about you, in this very time, such kind of thing is out, in this very time that they have such opportunity to amplify the atrocities of Nigeria against Biafrans, to speak about these atrocities. We have been speaking about it. You know, the media, they are in charge of the media, more especially the conventional media and those international media out there. They will never speak about these issues. But an opportunity has presented itself where the book launch of the criminal has raised a dust that people are talking about it. Some of us are not even discussing it in our platforms. Our brothers and neighbors from the Oduduwa land go to their platform. They are busy defending their own man. And you don't blame them. Do I blame them? No. They are busy. Go to their various platforms. They're talking about their own. But go to our Biafran platform. Some of our brothers are still busy on gossip, propaganda, and blackmail. Some of them are still on their own platform talking about irrelevant issues. Some of them are still busy on comedy, going to a platform where they will listen to comedy. We have not yet learned our lesson. This media was what they used to propagate this lie against us. The lie that brought hatred upon more than 70 million people. A lie, a blatant lie. They use the media to put that lie. They push it until every single person in the zoo, other tribes, they begin to believe this lie. This is why today there are some people in that zoological republic. They have not had anything to do with anybody from Biafra land, more especially the Igbos. They have not done any business transaction with an Igbo person. They are not married to Igbo. They have not gone into any particular issue, any transaction with an Igbo person. But when they see you as an Igbo, they see you as a threat. Once they see you from Biafra land, they see you as a threat. And to a very great extent, you know, when we say Igbo, some people think it's just only those in the 5 states. As long as you're from the old southeastern region, they see you as Igbo. And they see you as a threat, both in the southwest and in the north. Some of us who have not lived in the north will not understand this. If you have lived in the north, let me tell you, to an extent, they even attack a Yoruba man as an Igbo person. And the only thing they hold hand to attack you is that their father, Tafa Balewa or whoever, was killed. And it was your brother who was responsible for the death. This is a simple message they pass to their children. They pass it on, generation to generation, from decade to decade, they continue to pass it on. And they use their media to push this. The British wrote this very script for them. It is British that wrote it to them. A coup that was planned. In that coup, Yoruba people were among, names were mentioned, Yorubas. Yoruba officers were among. People from the Middle Belt were among. Every region in that contraption called Nigeria were among. Young officers of Nigeria who were pursuing a revolution for a better Nigeria in their mind then. All of a sudden, our brothers in the southwest, who were meant to be the beneficiary of that very revolution, used their media to change the narrative superheaded by Awolowo. That same Awolowo they wanted to make the leader. The same Awolowo was the person who is in the forefront of causing the death of the young ones, death of children in Biafra land. Millions of children that we are dying today died because of the policy put in place by Awolowo. Their blood will be on his head. Nobody is talking about that.
My brother, if I interrupt you, you see, I don't think it's in your show or 247, or put a panel.
Yeah.
Where a man put a Yoruba, one of the military, that wrote a book, put the Yoruba name and say it's an Igbo man.
Exactly. You see, I played the program here. It is
yes. He said it's an Igbo man, Yoruba name. It's an Igbo man. You see the level. Do you see the level of the hatred? We need more people in the media, those who can. I wish it's something I can do. You know, different languages. Now we have this YouTube. Now we have social media. It's not like that time when there was all these resources were not there. The world did not know what was going on fully. It was whatever information the Nigerian media gave them. That's what they're using against us. You know, but it's different now. People from different languages, please, I plead you, join the media and use your language. And if you don't know what to do, scream Mr. Herbert's video and explain it in your language. You don't need to go far. Restrain this and use it in your language. We need that now, please. There's a lot of false information about people. You're talking about doing something. Even other countries. I recently got into business, or we're planning business with a Tanzanian who wanted to start a business. All of a sudden, it just poured out. Once they know you are an Igbo person, you become a threat, like right away.
Exactly.
Everywhere in African country, they start feeling intimidated. In my working place, I met this Ethiopian. He said, "Oh, you're from, you're Igbo speaking." I said, "Yes." He said, "Why is people scared of Igbo speaking? People in Nigeria." I said, "What do you think?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "That's the reason. You don't know, but you believe it. That's why you have a problem. You would have made a research." These are industrious people. Make a research yourself. That's my homework. And if you don't find any answer, then don't believe it. You know. So please, I'm pleading languages, different languages. We need you. We need you at this time. Restrain other people's in different language. We have the biggest opportunity, and our leaders should use this publish to go out and fight for this Biafra. Because this is the truth. We don't even need a court. And I hope Finland are listening to release our prime minister. Is still going on. That Igbo hatred is still going on.
Still going on. Global conspiracy.
I met somebody from Kano. To my greatest surprise, this is my first time of meeting an pure outside person in America. We started talking and talking and talking, and then we got to the point to religion. We were saying, okay, Northerners, yeah, Muslim. The West, half Muslim, half Christian. Do you know what she told me? He said, they don't really consider Yoruba Muslim as a real Muslim people. So you see the difference right there.
Mm.
So the Yorubas that are parading themselves as Muslim people, the outsiders, the Northerners don't see them as they're practicing their real Muslim people, the real Muslim or whatever is whatever they call it. I don't know. That system needs to be destroyed. I don't know what God.
Yeah.
So, for me, when I look at the genesis of the problem, the genesis of the hatred, I put it squarely on the British from the get-go. They masterminded it. They nurtured it until this day, as we speak. They've not. I don't know what it's all about. Yesterday, I saw a program on Jordan Peterson. I think he's a Canadian. And Kemi Badenoch is the Yoruba woman who is the leader of the Conservative Party in the UK now. She was on his platform and being interviewed. So obviously she knows stuff, but politically there are areas she won't go and stuff like that. But there's so I think that ordinarily somebody like David Cameron ought to be investigated. In 2005 to 2006, he was the prime minister then. And he created a policy commission that he tagged globalization and global poverty. So what happened is they were funding this program with the USAID funding and their own funding too. But it just so happened that from the revelation we're getting now that these fundings were geared towards the sponsoring and equipping of Boko Haram and, the terrorists, whatever going on in Nigeria. Now, so this thing continues 2005 to 2006. Fast forward to about a year ago, or let me say, about a year ago, the same David Cameron came out when he now became foreign secretary, British foreign secretary. He came out to declare Nigeria an Islamic country. And you begin to wonder, if you begin to look deeply, you begin to wonder, where is all this coming from? Now, Nigeria, you can make the argument that Nigeria is 50-50 Christian-Muslim, 50-50, split down the middle. You can also make the argument that Christians may even be more. So
it's not may even be more. Christians are more. That 50-50 of a talk is just
manipulation.
That's the same way they tell us that the North is more populated than the South, which is a
exactly.
very big lie. It doesn't happen in any place in the world where the savannah area will be less populated than the desert.
Exactly. So the question is, why and David Cameron knows all this. He knows that Christians are most likely more than the Muslims. So why did he not come out to say, because Nigeria is also a member of international Christian bodies. Nigeria is a member of World Christian Forums world over. So why did David Cameron not come out to declare that Nigeria is a Christian nation or country? He didn't. But he said that Nigeria is an Islamic country. You can Google it. It's there for all to see when he made the pronouncement. And this is a guy who created this commission, and they were funding it. And part of this funding from the USAID was sponsoring terrorism. They were using it as an avenue to Islamize Nigeria. So you see that it's a global agenda to turn the entire Nigerian space into Islamic country. Make no mistake about that. So obviously, I know that because he's British, he's a Westerner, they do stuff and they get away with it. Because Tony Blair, we all the things he did, he was never nothing. He's on The untouchable people. These people are untouchable. So my point is that when you look at this whole thing, you begin to see the global dimension to the problem we are facing, and the British primarily because probably two reasons, from my estimation, probably two reasons. Their fear that Japan they don't want in Africa will come from Ndi Igbo. I subscribe that. That is one. Two is that they've seen Nigeria as their meal ticket, their business empire. And keeping it the way it is, handing it over to the Fulanis to be in charge, we continue to give them the avenue to milk the resources. So, and obviously, at some point, it became like what you can describe as the case of quid pro quo. The Fulanis, the Nigeria that is in charge of Nigerian system, what I term Fulani hijack Nigerian system, they allows them to milk the resources. Why? And in return, they allow the Fulani to push and to impose Islamization. So it's very, very deep. This is some deep stuff. But that is also why when I say that there's this window of opportunity, and I believe that Chukwuka Abiyama, his hand is in it, because every time they've succeeded in the past, like with the case of Nnamdi Kanu, they are aware of it. The British government, I have never misswore when I say it. They were aware of it, and they supported it. If you don't believe that, I feel sorry for you. And the arrest, or whatever you call it, about our PM2, their hand is equally in it. That's a fact. But with Dr. Ngojo Rabeze now, it seems to me like a standard was raised against them, because not this current U.S. administration, as we know it, we give them that room to maneuver. No. So let's just keep working, and let's keep praying that that this window of opportunity will be exploited to the fullest, so that we can, get our freedom. Because it's really unbelievable that the revelation from Babangida's book shows clearly that an injustice of unimaginable magnitude has been meted on the people, the Biafrans. So then what? The question is, so then what? Set them free. On that lies and propaganda, where millions of people, for no reason, massacred, based on lies and propaganda. Igbo coup. But it turns out now not to be. And the same Awolowo that the intention was to release Awolowo and make him president. Now, they did not release him based on other events that took place after the coup, because the coup failed in the first place. It was not successful. It was an Igbo man that thwarted the coup, that stopped the coup from succeeding. But the war that followed, the Biafra war that they brought upon us, it was the same Awolowo that brought idea or advice that more or less maybe contributed maybe half of the massacre of the Biafran people. Because from what I read, he gave the suggestion, he gave the idea to Gowon that hungry people cannot fight a war. So then they have to embark on the blockade, food blockade, that led to, so it just is sad. But I just want our people to know that the problem is deep, really, really deep. And for Finland, that during the Civil War, they were sympathetic, they felt, they really felt it, and they were trying to do the little they can to help Biafrans. Is the same Finland today that is working with the enemy to continue to subjugate Biafrans. So you can see the global angle to which this whole thing is coming. So that's just the little thing I have to contribute, because I know that David Cameron, these are untouchable set of people, and these are globalists with very, very wicked intention, is to make Nigeria Islam. So if you want to make Nigeria Islamic country, what do you do to more than half of the population that are non-Muslims? you subdue them, so whatever, either you slaughter them, and they continue to encourage terrorism, because that is a way to achieve it. Put fear in the people, slaughter as many, send them to IDP camp, take over their land, take over that is what is going on. It's as simple as day and night. And again, unfortunately, we have Biafran politicians, Igbo politicians, and some other ones who are complicit in it, because they allow the Fulanis to occupy the bushes, and they come out. When they come out, they slaughter, they run back into the bush, and they don't chase after them to bring them to book. So it ends there. They come in and slaughter 30, 50, whatever number, and they never bring them to book. Never. The one that happened to Ebonyi, that is the end of it. They will continue to plan to reinforce as against next attack. And when it happens, the governor will not order the military or security to go after them until they apprehend them. No. It ends there. It's happening all over the place. So, but that is the situation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fighting not only against the Nigerian government's road of resistance, fighting not only against the Nigerian government, but against the
If you do
world.
not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows.